What if I told you that on October 1st, 1960, Nigeria stepped into freedom with celebration in the air? But hidden beneath the cheers was a storm that would test the nation with war, military coups, dictatorship, corruption, heartbreak, and unbelievable resilience. Before we uncover Nigeria's dramatic journey from independence to 2025, kindly like, share, and subscribe to Heritage Hunter for more powerful untold history. The dawn of freedom, 1960. Nigeria gained independence from United Kingdom on October 1st, 1960. The British flag came down. Nigeria's green and white flag rose proudly. Across cities like Lagos, Ibadan, and Kano, people danced with hope. The giant of Africa was finally free. The population was huge, the land was rich, oil had been discovered, agriculture was booming, everything looked promising. But Nigeria was also deeply divided. The country had many ethnic groups, different religions, different political interests, and those divisions would soon ignite. The First Republic and growing tension, 1960 to 1966. Nigeria became a parliamentary democracy. Nnamdi Azikiwe became president. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa led the government. At first there was optimism, but politics quickly became bitter. Election violence spread. Regional rivalry deepened. Many citizens began losing trust. Then came January 15th, 1966, a military coup. Major leaders were killed. Nigeria was shaken. The government collapsed, and the military stepped in. The coups and civil war, 1966 to 1970. After the coup, Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi took power, but anger and fear spread. A counter-coup happened months later. Ironsi was killed. Yakubu Gowon became leader. Then came Nigeria's darkest chapter. In 1967, the eastern region declared itself the Republic of Biafra. Civil war began, brother against brother, cities destroyed, families displaced, millions suffered. Starvation devastated children. The entire world watched in horror. For 3 brutal years, Nigeria bled. Then in January 1970, Biafra surrendered. The war ended. Gowon declared, "No victor, no vanquished." The country survived, but the wounds remained. The oil boom and military rule. 1970s Nigeria rebuilt. Oil prices exploded, money poured in, roads were built, big projects began. The government became richer than ever. Nigeria looked unstoppable, but corruption grew fast, and military power tightened. In 1975, Gowon was overthrown. Murtala Muhammad came in with bold promises. People admired him, but in 1976, he was assassinated. Nigeria was stunned again. Olusegun Obasanjo took over, and then something rare happened. In 1979, he handed power to civilians, a major turning point. Second Republic, hope returns, then falls, 1979 to 1983. Shehu Shagari became president. Democracy returned. People celebrated, but oil prices crashed, the economy weakened, inflation rose, corruption accusations spread, citizens grew frustrated. Then, on New Year's Eve, 1983, another military coup. Democracy ended again. The hard years, 1980s and 1990s, Muhammadu Buhari took power first. Strict discipline, harsh crackdowns, economic pain. Then, in 1985, another coup. Ibrahim Babangida became leader. He promised reform. But many Nigerians struggled. The economy became harder. The naira weakened. Then came the election of 1993. Many believed it was Nigeria's freest election ever. Moshood Abiola was expected to win, but the result was annulled. Chaos followed. Protests spread. Anger exploded. Then military ruler Sani Abacha seized control. Fear spread across the nation. Activists were arrested. Voices were silenced. Nigeria became isolated. Then suddenly, in 1998, Abacha died, and history shifted again. The return to democracy, 1999. In 1999, Nigeria voted again. Civilian rule returned. Olusegun Obasanjo became president, this time as a civilian. It was a fresh chapter. The military stepped back. Nigeria began rebuilding democracy. There was hope again. But challenges remained: electricity shortages, corruption, poverty, and insecurity. Still, democracy survived. And that mattered. The 2000s, growth and struggle. Nigeria's economy expanded. Mobile phones transformed communication. Cities grew rapidly. Entertainment exploded. Nollywood became one of the biggest film industries on earth. Afro beats rose globally. Nigerian entrepreneurs built businesses. Young people pushed innovation. Yet violence and instability continued. In the Niger Delta, in politics, and later in the Northeast. The extremist group Boko Haram began attacks. Communities were devastated. Schools were attacked. Families fled. The nation faced another painful test. Then came a major democratic milestone. In 2015, opposition candidate Muhammadu Buhari defeated incumbent Goodluck Jonathan. For the first time in Nigeria's history, a sitting president peacefully handed power to an opposition rival. The world noticed. It proved democracy was maturing, even with deep divisions. 2020, the end. SARS movement. Then came another powerful chapter. Young Nigerians raised their voices. The End SARS protests demanded an end to police brutality. Crowds filled streets in Lagos and beyond. Social media amplified every voice. The world watched. It became more than protest. It became a symbol of a generation demanding accountability and change. The 2023 election brought Bola Tinubu to power. Expectations were high. Nigeria still faced inflation, currency pressure, fuel subsidy reforms, security concerns, and intense public debate. Yet by 2025, Nigeria remains Africa's most populous nation, a cultural powerhouse, a business giant, a nation with extraordinary talent. And despite every setback, coups, war, dictatorship, economic crashes, terrorism, and political storms, Nigeria is still standing, still moving, still fighting, still dreaming, and still shaping Africa's future. Nigeria's history after independence is not just a story of struggle. It's the story of survival, courage, and a nation that refused to break. Which moment in Nigeria's journey shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments and subscribe to Heritage Hunter for more powerful, untold history from Nigeria and around the world.